Hello from Seljalandsfoss. I'm Patrick Hughes, this is Planet Patrick, and welcome to another destination report, this time the South Shores.
See what mine looks like.
I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick. Today we're exploring the South Shore area of Iceland. It's in the area known as South Iceland, strangely. And I have my handy orange book here with lots of interesting things to tell us. So there could be up to 5 stops, depending on how wonderfully today goes in terms of driving. The first place that we're going to go is Seljalandsfoss waterfall. This is supposed to be quite a dramatic waterfall, and you can walk behind it to get like different photography, so that's going to be interesting. It says in my notes it's best to go there early. I won't be there early. And it's about a 63-minute drive from here. The second stop is going to be Skogafoss waterfall. So that's 2 waterfalls. Not far from there, like 10-15 minutes drive from there, is the Vatnajökull Glacier. And I'm going to go to a viewpoint rather than try and hike the glacier in summer, which might be slightly bonkers. I'm going to go to a viewpoint and try and get some nice photographs from up above. That makes me think I better pack or like put out like a warm hat and a sweater, something like that. I'm wearing a t-shirt, which is bizarre as it's only about 5 degrees, but I'm getting used to it. There is the option of seeing the Solheimajökull plane crash. Now this was a plane that crashed on a beach years ago, and it's been in a number of famous music videos apparently. So, I mean, that sounds like fun, but I understand that because people were driving all over the beach and local wildlife and lovely plains and that kind of thing, that they've shut access to it. So you can get there, but by hiking. So let's see if I feel like having a 4-kilometer one-way hike, 4 kilometers back to look at a plane crash. I might. Let's see how we go. Oh yes, finally we're going to go to Reynisfjara Black Sand Beach. So I really want to see this. It's supposed to be gorgeous. So we're driving then from Eldhestar, which is in an area I think called Olfus, to roughly the area known as Vik. And I'm staying at a hotel down there, which is near a beauty spot. So I'm looking forward to finding out a little bit more about that and getting some film later in this particular video. So remember, I'm Patrick Hughes, this is Planet Patrick, and you're with me for another destination report. Here I am at Seljalandsfoss. I'm going to try and tell you everything I know about it, which is, it is a waterfall. It's 60 meters high, and it featured in a song, a video, from Justin Bieber. And no, I don't know which one it was, but I can Google it for you. There's some lovely water. The waterfall begins, do you remember a few years ago when the ash from a volcanic eruption? Do you remember a few years ago when the ash from a volcanic eruption stopped all flights in Western Europe? That was Eldhestar, which I've mispronounced, I'm sure. Anyway, the river that becomes Seljalandsfoss, God, this language is so hard. There's a fly behind me. The river that becomes this waterfall starts there, and that volcano is the long or the short of it. Other things I can tell you, there's a lot of tourists because it's a Saturday, and I was going to use the facilities, but a massive coach full of elderly gentlemen has arrived, and so I have competition in the elderly gentleman department, which is most disconcerting. Off we go. Let's have a look at Seljalandsfoss. It's so busy today, it's like the Hunger Games, getting close enough to get a clear shot. It'll give you time to do more dramatic posing. It will take only seconds, I promise. Look at that. Welcome to Planet Patrick. Thank you, enjoy. Well, that's kind of crazy. There's a queue for all the best spots. But I guess everybody wants to have sort of the drama, the up close. There are steps to get up. Let's have a look. That gets you behind the waterfall. I'd hope to do a drone shot, but they've been prohibited, I'm afraid. I was going to say something undramatic, like it's very green here. Well, of course it is. There's spray coming off the waterfall. Oh, focus, focus. This shit is dangerous. It's so busy today, it's like the Hunger Games, getting close enough to get a clear shot. Fun fact, Bjork also filmed something here. Who knew? Actually, I quite like this cave thing. Well, like actual cave rather than a cave thing. It's getting quite cold back here. I'm guessing there must be ice water or something in the flow. Let's head on around. Maybe this is the best view. Maybe less the land of fire and ice and more of the power of water. The heater in the car is going to be working overtime. So there you are, you have it from every angle. Seljalandsfoss, 60 meters of waterfall. Really beautiful. It's been in a Bjork video, Justin Bieber video. Onwards to the next place. Well, this isn't one of the scheduled stops for today, but I spotted this and I couldn't not have a look. Rutshellir, and this says upwards of 200 man-made caves can be found on 90 farms in South Iceland, and 41 of them have been declared protected sites, and they're unknown anywhere else. The main cave here is straight and arched, at least 20 meters long, and it was used to store hay. And there was a small cave right next to it, which was probably a smithy. So let's have a look. I mean, you've got to see these steps. Those are something else, aren't they? Oh, I'm afraid it's going to rain, but that's kind of par for the course. Ooh. Ooh. Look at this path. As I stumble and fall across it. So much for hiking boots. It's very dramatic scenery, isn't it? You know how much we love a drama. You can also hear in the background, very vaguely, the lesser known screeching bird, or seagull. Somebody who follows me on Instagram, the lovely Susan, is very fond of a seagull. So, Susan, the screeching birds are for you. Oh, hello. Wow. Crazy. Oh my goodness. That is not what I was expecting at all. I think this looks like some kind of like a sheep barn or something. That's it. Put your keys away, Patrick. It smells like a sheep barn. So it's like a building into a cave. I mean, you have to say that cave looks like it's a little bit man-carved, human-carved, but maybe it's not. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, there's another cave in here. So the thing said, the little interpretative thing said that this was probably a smithy. Well, perhaps up top there, if you can see it, you might not be able to. That opened up a little bit better, but it's certainly bizarre. I mean, bizarre is a strong term. It's certainly something different to what I'm used to. But what am I used to, and why does that matter? Perhaps this is how things were in South Iceland. Go for it, South Islanders. South Islanders are from New Zealand, aren't they? And bear in mind that a lot of these people were Irish or Scottish. They have that DNA. Partially because the Nordics who were swinging on by were already in control of large parts of Ireland and brought some serfs, or kind of slaves, indentured slaves at least, with them to Iceland, thereby marrying some of the females of that persuasion and having offspring who now look either like a mishmash of fabulosity that is Nordic Irish Gaelicness or Naelicness. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Naelic? All right, back through this cave malarkey. Back down through here. Oh. Holy shamoly. I know I bang on about the light, but even in a cave, there's great lighting. Thanks, Iceland. Okay. And you have to climb over this bit without dehumanizing yourself. No, it definitely smells of sheep. Thank you, sheep people. Yeah, there's sheep poop. That strikes me as sheep poop. Oh, well, there's some sheep. Hello, sheep people. Hello. They're saying there's Planet Patrick. Or Sheplanet Shepatrick. I'm even known in the sheepish world. I wonder what's for dinner, speaking of that. Hopefully not mutton. Or screeching birds. Alright, that was an unscheduled stop. We're going to head back onto the next bit of our schedule, or as Americans would say, schedule. Thank you, American watchers. It's because of you I have any money. It isn't really. Although I'd be very willing for you to send me some. Check out my Patreon. Links are in the comments section, the description of the video. I love that. I think that's so beautiful, isn't it? What do you think it is? Like a dragon's head or something? It's quite Game of Thrones, isn't it? Maybe we'll see Jon Snow coming, hurtling across the field. I have a feeling some of you would like that better than a seagull or a bit of sheep. Anyway, this was Rutshellir, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, somewhere in South Iceland between Seljalandsfoss and Skogafoss. In other words, between the two big waterfall stops that people do in South Iceland. So glad you could be here for this bit, and let's go to the lovely waterfall. Toodle-bups. Hello from Skogafoss. Just while I'm back here, I thought I'd say a couple of quick things about it. First of all, using my other camera to gesture, it's about 20 meters across and about 60 meters high. Seljalandsfoss was also about the same height, about 60 meters. This was originally a sea cliff. So the sea originally came in as far as this, but over time it's pushed back and back, and we're quite some distance now from the actual coast. You might recognize it. This was featured in Game of Thrones, where Daenerys Targaryen and her dragons took Jon away for a secret kiss. The secret kiss took place here at Skogafoss. It's a place of kissing. Strangely, a family member, but that's more bizarre than we need it to be. Okay, let's go closer and see what it's like up close. Also, there is the opportunity, if you can see halfway up that mountain, people are walking up steps. I'm going to do that for you. I'm so good to you. Isn't it amazing? Love a waterfall. Just as well. Out of love for you, there will be a lot of panting as I make my way all the way up there. As I try not to have cardiac arrest climbing up these steps, I'm looking out across the landscape. And remember, I was saying that these were sea cliffs. Well, you can see the sea from here. How far do you think that is? About a mile, 2 miles? I'm not sure. Holy Saint Bridie, patron saint of step climbers and Icelandic midges, which are everywhere. This is July. Hope you're not afraid of heights, as the thingamajigger floor is made out of see-through grid. But the view, of course, is spectacular. It looks like it's worth going over there for a little meander to see what that's like, so let's go do that before I collapse. I thank you. Is this entirely safe? Doesn't look it. I've come out to what looks like a totally unsafe outcrop with no wires around it. That's the edge, and it tumbles away. But if I carefully turn around, you can see the river that cataracts over the edge. That was a good use of the word cataracts, wasn't it? I like that one. You're here for the linguistics as much as anything else, I know you are. Anyway, this is gorgeous. This is Skogafoss, and before I become faint and fall over the edge, that's the end of this bit. Hello from Solheimajökull, Iceland. I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick. Okay, it looks like some people are going off-piste and heading down this hill, which is unroped. But when you have hiking boots and the strength of an ox, or at least you've eaten an ox, oh, that seems a reasonable thing to do. Bonjour de Solheimajökull en Islande. Je m'appelle Patrick Hughes et bienvenue à Planet Patrick. If you're wondering what happened to stop number 4, which was the one where there was that crashed plane and etc, etc. Anyway, that was going to be 4 kilometers there, 4 kilometers back, apparently. So an 8k round trip. I still have another bit to do. I want to go to see that fancy beach. We're going to go there right now. Come on, let's get going. Hello. I'm on Reynisfjara beach. This is stop number 4. I'm looking across at these rock formations and in some way they look pretty familiar to Northern Irish people or people who have visited Northern Ireland. I wonder, has Vatnajökull been here? Let's find out. Let's get closer. These waves are getting quite dramatic. I'm just about managing to stay out of the water. I haven't looked it up yet, but I think the beach is black. For the simple reason that the stones and rocks and so on and so forth that are getting mashed up are volcanic. Just about made it. Well, this is like something out of Game of Thrones, isn't it? It's like somewhere that a dragon would be living. Let's have a look. It looks kind of man-made, doesn't it? Yet it was made by the hands of nature. Those basalt columns are dramatic, aren't they? That's the power of erosion, people. With the lovely Atlantic swell that caresses our own Irish west coast. Here too, the south coast of Iceland. Ooh, it's getting a bit close for comfort. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of Planet Patrick. I hope you enjoyed today's journey around the south shores of Iceland. This trip to the black sand and pebble beach and the beauty that is all around us. Thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
See what mine looks like.
I'm Patrick Hughes and this is Planet Patrick.